All right, here we are. Famous market in Nebraska. Market in Nebraska. Your typical little trap house, which is currently being remodeled, I might add you. That's definitely not the Ford truck that was sitting there when I was here. It sure as hell isn't. Then we can take a look across over here. Englewood's a fucking city in Denver, Colorado, and I already exposed Denver, Colorado. Ford truck, which was more similar this morning, that looked like the one that was here. Again, imagine being in this residence, which is actually completely, this has been remodeled completely, especially this right here. Hey, there's Saul. How you doing? These people are pagans, they're Satanists, they're child molesters. This is a DEA trap house that's been remodeled. In between Center and Market Street. But imagine you're coming down Market Street after you've been up for 4 days and you find out your local police department is filming children have sex with adults, particularly a random 5-year-old girl. You're coming down here, you've been up for 4 fucking days. They give you what's called a hot rail. They give you alcohol, get you a little bit buzzed after you've been up for 4 days. And then they show you this madness, this Satanism. You're coming down here and you see a yellow children's bus in the middle of the intersection with police on their bikes. Imagine the entire street of Market is shut down. You go up, you take a right, you go to get on the bus, the city bus, not the school bus. You go to get on a city bus. You take a hike up to the bus stop, but the city bus doesn't move. It never goes through the intersection. It stops at the stoplight. So you walk, and then it drives by. It drives right on by you. After you stand there waiting for it at the intersection for 10 minutes, you can see it at the intersection for 10 minutes, dude. And you've been up 4 days and you just saw something you weren't supposed to see. And I didn't mention this either. You were also given a knife. You've been up 4 days. Now they've given you shots of liquor, showing you that they're Satanists and pedophiles, and you take off. These are police officers. These are Marion County Sheriffs and DEA, FBI, Masonic, Fraternal Order of Police, child molesters, and Satanists. So you're coming down here, there's a huge children's bus in the intersection with police on their bikes smiling at you. And DEA landscaping vehicles trying to run you over, and they're calling your phone, telling you come back to the residence, come back to the residence. But you don't. You don't. You run up the street to here on Market Street. You jump over the fence behind the Shiloh Inn. Bark dust on the ground. You run up to a van, it's got kids in it. You ask them if they can give you a ride. But you're pouring down sweat and you look like a wacko. So you end up having to run around this whole area up here. Up there near Fred Meyer's, right? You get back down to Fred Meyer's. You're in the parking lot. You catch the city bus, the number 11, all the way out to the Marion County Sheriff's Department. And there's no cops out there. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because you just saw a white pickup truck with about 50 antennas hanging off of it. Because they're all driving around trying to kill you. This is Market Street. We know Market Street. We all know Market Street. But imagine this entire street was closed down. I don't know, maybe I just look good, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure it has something to do with the fact my grandfather was a 32nd degree DEA Freemason, obviously. Gave me the DEA Masonic police Bibles after this little incident. Satanic Bibles. 4 days, you see a bus sitting in the middle of that intersection, man. You got landscaping vehicles trying to run you over, and there's no vehicles out at the Marion County Sheriff's Office. And they gave you a knife. First thing I did was I threw the knife right up the street. Some doctor's offices up there near Savage Street. That's my story. That's my story, DEA. Okay. So 2 geographical locations I've seen that have been DEA, no license plate. 2 geographical locations that have been completely remodeled. An entire single-story motel that's been completely tore down, remodeled, and then this house down here, this satanic house with the pagan Saul marking. DEA racks. And nigga, don't get your ass caught in a trap. Don't get your ass caught up in that trap house. They'll come to pick you up in a Jeep just like that.